think he moved it now. No, he makes that. But home, freeware, and services. Certificate, password haystacks. I think that's, yeah, here we go. So let's say I make the password password. It's a dictionary word, and so an online attack scenario, well, if they don't guess password first, which is what everybody does, an online attack scenario, it could still take close to 7 years, to get password. But if I've got those packets sitting on my hard drive and it's an offline fast attack scenario, it takes a couple seconds. And then there's what's called a massive cracking array scenario, which is, it takes a lot more processing power and all that, but it's a tiny fraction of a second. But if you take a password like, I don't know, what's an old password I used to have? All right, FLUFFY1. I used to use that a long time ago. I don't use it anymore, so don't get any ideas. Still, look at that, 35.7 seconds. If they can get a hold of those packets. But if I make a symbol here, now look at that. We went from a few seconds to 18.6 hours. That's a huge difference. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 8 characters. Now, if I went, I want to add another 6. So 2015 Q1. That's a 14 character. Now look at that. 1.57 thousand trillion centuries for an online attack. 15.67 million centuries for an offline attack. Now that is a pretty safe password.
Yes.
It's going to take forever to crack that. No one's going to, if you're trying to go for the path of least resistance and you're trying to get through using a password, that's a pretty big barrier. So, I mean, that's the difference between, that and that. So, yeah, I used to use like movie phrases, like what was the one movie? Live long and prosper. Live long and sometimes a space is a character, but in this case, so I don't have any numbers, I don't have any symbols. I have upper and lower. And look at that, 25 billion centuries, because it's a long password. Right?
Speaking of famous passwords, I was actually looking at something the other day that said that if it comes down to a 7-digit numerical password, the third most common after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 7 down to 1 is 8675309 because people remember that song so well.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, the song. Yeah, stuff like that. PIN numbers. I know 1999, if you have a 4-digit PIN, people were picking 1999 because of the Prince song. And there was another one, and I can't remember what it was, another 4-digit rock song or album name or something, that it was a widely used PIN number. So a lot of hackers, they know that. And so, in their software, they'll say, try these obvious ones first. Another really commonly used password, let me in.
I've seen that before.
Yeah. But even that, look at that. Offline crack scenario, not even 1 second. Now I mix it up with some capitals. And put the year. Now you're talking. And if you have to change your password let's say every 3 months. Let's say you really want to employ good password policy. We're going to change your password every 3 months. Hey, no problem. Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. And then just change the year. So that's easy. And look at the offline crack scenario here. Even a massive cracking array, which is throwing huge resources at getting a hold of that password, is almost 65 years. So good password tips, on make it something you can remember, but a software program wouldn't be able to guess, and a brute force on that. If you really, really, really wanted to make this difficult, put the year at Q1 or Q1 at the year. So you would say, we're in quarter 1 at 2015. I mean, now you're talking almost 16,000 centuries for the massive crack array scenario. And it's easy to remember. Let me in first quarter at this year. So, it's not impossible. So we do try to find ways to have these great security features. And still, I know some places, or have known, where they have a fairly difficult password like this one. I mean, fairly difficult to crack, but easy to remember. And then they'll bracket each person's password with their first and last initial. So the first initial, then this massive password, and then the last initial. And so everyone had a different password, but they all knew each other's password, which is never really a good idea that everybody knows each other's password. I've been burned by that in the past. I guess I'm biased, but I've had someone log on with my username once and cause some chaos. Put my name on it. So luckily I was out of town that week and couldn't have been me that did it. That was the only thing to save my job. Okay, so that's passwords. I'm going to turn off the recording.